Hi dear students, welcome to Geeta's classes. Today we are going to solve COSM JNTUH question paper which was conducted on 12th September 2022. I have already calculated the answers, so only I am going to tell you how we are going to do the problems. And this time it was very easy paper. And now first question 1A. There are three machines, so let us take P of A, P of B and P of C be the corresponding probabilities that the bolts are manufactured by the machines 1, 2 and 3 respectively. So given that the items are produced by machine 1, 2, 3 are 40%, 30% and 30% respectively. Therefore, P of A is 0.4, P of B is 0.3 and P of C is 0.3. Now, let us denote capital D that the probability that the bolt is defective. So, if it is from machine A, so 4%, the given percentage, the percentages of defective items of these machines are 4%, 2% and 3%. It is given. Therefore, P of D given A, D given B and D given C are 0.04, 0.02 and 0.03 respectively. And now we are selecting randomly, you are selecting a bolt, and if it is defective, what is the probability that it would have come from machine 1? That is P of A given D. This is the formula. We are using Bayes theorem for this, and the denominator is going to be the same whether it is from machine 1 or 2 or 3. So in the numerator only it will change. Okay. So this is the formula. If you substitute, you will get these values. And if you want the detailed explanation for Bayes theorem, we have in the channel, we have a separate video for that. So you can go through that. So P of B given D, if the bolt has come from machine 2, that is B given D, I told you already the denominator is going to be the same even for B or C. That is second or third machine, it is going to be the same, denominator is same. Only the numerator, if it is from machine 2, this will be in the numerator, and this term, third term will be in the numerator if it is from machine C. Okay. So now 1B, a continuous random variable has the PDF. This is the PDF. It is defined as x greater than 0, it is defined as e power minus x, and left hand side it is 0. Okay. From in the right hand side, that is greater than or equal to 0, it is e power minus x. What is asked? Probability from 0 to 2. So integral 0 to 2 f of x dx. So integral 0 to 2 f of x is what? E power minus x, 0 to 2. In this interval also it is defined as e power minus x only. So if you substitute, you will be getting 0.8647. You can write up to this term also. 1 minus e power minus 2. You can stop here also. If you have calculator, if you know how to find out, you can write the values. Otherwise, you can up to this also is fine. You will be getting marks even if you write 1 minus e power minus 2 also. Okay. And mean is always e of x, that is expectation of x. The formula is integral minus infinity to plus infinity x into f of x dx. I hope you remember, if it is a discrete random variable, sigma x into the probability density function. If it is continuous, then integral x into f of x dx. Okay. So here just I have substituted and integrated the values. You can go through the steps. If you get any doubts, you can post in the comment box. I'll answer, but please mention the time where you have doubts. Okay. Variance e of x squared. This is again the formula, e of x squared minus e of x the whole squared. E of x squared means only here x squared into f of x. If it is e of x, x into here e of x squared, so x squared into f of x dx minus, what is e of x? It is nothing but mu. It is the mean. So mu squared. Okay. Mu already we have found out to be 1. Therefore, it is substituted and the variance is 1. Okay. Now 2a, there are 3 boxes and a box is chosen at random. You keep these 3 aside. Now your box is chosen at random. What is the probability that the box is chosen at random? It is not given. The probability is not given, but it is equal. So you can assume 1 by 3, 1 by 3 and 1 by 3. Okay. Probability of selecting the first box is 1 by 3, second box is also 1 by 3, third box is also 1 by 3. Now coming to this, now we have defective bulbs. Okay. So defective bulbs means first one in the first box there are 10 light bulbs out of which 4 are defective. So 4 out of 10. So that is what is P of D given A, 4 by 10. Similarly for next box 1 by 6 and next third box it is 3 by 8. Okay. Probability of A given D is again the same base theorem and the formula is going to be the same. For first box it is D given A into P of A will be there in the numerator. For second box the second term will be in the numerator, and for the third box third term will be in the numerator. Okay, and substitute the values and find out the probability. Sometimes how will you check whether you are getting the correct answer or not? If you add this 0.4247, 0.1771 and 0.3982, no, you will be getting 1. Okay. So if you are selecting a defective bulb, and if it would have come from only 3 possibilities are there. It would have come from A or B or C, right? So total probability is always 1. So after this, if you check, then you will be able to find out whether you have done correctly or not. Okay. Next 2B, this is the function. The function is defined from -1 to +1. It is defined as 1 by 2 into x plus 1. And less than, this side it is 0, right hand side also it is 0. Now what is asked? Probability that integral 2 to 4. So integral 2 to 4 f of x dx is the probability. But 2 to 4, what is the probability? It is the function, it is defined as 0, right? Therefore, you need not integrate and all. You can directly write the value as 0, right? Next is mean, as usual, the formula as we have done in the previous problem, the same formula only. The function is defined only from -1 to +1, therefore x into f of x dx, okay? And substitute and find out the value, it is 1 by 3. And variance is e of x squared minus e of x the whole square. And e of x is found, just now we have found out to be 1 by 3, that is the previous part, there is 1 by 3. So just substitute 1 by 9. And here x squared into f of x dx. F of x is 1 by 2 into x plus 1, just substitute and evaluate the answer. So answer variance is 2 by 9. Next is 6 cards are drawn from a pack of 52 cards. Getting a red card is a success. What is a success? That is small p. You are going to find out small p. And find the probability of getting the success at least once and 3 times. Okay. So if you know what do you know about the cards? How many red cards are there? There are 4 types of cards. 2 types are black and 2 are red. So totally there are 26 cards. There are 26 red cards. 26 red cards. So favorable case, and when you are finding favorable case and total number of possible cases, there it will be useful. So there are 26 cards. How many cards we are taking? 6 cards we are taking. Therefore, the required probability of success is 26C6 divided by 52C6. That is 2. If you for substitute the answer, you can calculate it as to be 0.0113. This is the success, probability of success. Okay. Q is equal to 1 minus P, therefore 0.9887. And now what is the question? Probability of getting a success at least 1. So probability of x greater than or equal to 1. This is the question, at least 1. So success, we have found out the probability of success and failure, and x greater than or equal to 1 means 1 minus of P of x is equal to 0. So 1 minus 6C0 P per 0 Q per 6. If you substitute, this is the answer, 0.0659. Similarly, next is at least, not at least, exactly 3 times. Exactly 3 times. So P of x is equal to 3 is 6C3 P per 3 Q per 6 minus 3. And directly you can substitute these values in the calculator. Even 6C3 can be found out using the calculator. Okay. And now the probability is 3B. The probabilities of a Poisson variate taking values 1 and 2 are equal. So what is the Poisson distribution? PDF of Poisson distribution is P of x equal to x is e power minus lambda into lambda power x by x factorial. So we just substitute this x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 2, it will be equal. So now here e power minus lambda and e power minus lambda will get cancelled, lambda and 1 lambda will get cancelled. So here right hand side we have 1 lambda and this 2 will go to the other side. So lambda is equal to 2 factorial, which is 2. Okay. So mu is equal to, we know that for Poisson distribution, mean and variances are equal, both are lambda only. Mean is lambda and variance is also lambda. So mu is equal to lambda is equal to 2. So P of, that is what is asked, mean is equal to, what is the value of mean, okay. So mean is lambda, which is 2. And next is probability that x greater than or equal to 1 is 1 minus of P of x is equal to 0. Just substitute and find the value of that 0.8647, okay. Now assume that 60% of the 4A, assume that for 60% of the students pass an examination. Find the probability among 12, exactly 8, and at least 4 pass the examination. So here probability of success, 60% of the students pass an examination. So success is assumed as P is equal to 0.6. Therefore Q is equal to 1 minus P, which is 0.4. And we are going to consider among 12. Therefore N is equal to 12. So probability that x exactly 8. So x is equal to 8 is, substitute the values. Again 12C4. Here 12C8 is 12C4. We can write this is a property of the combination. NCR is equal to NCN minus R. Okay, this is a probability. So sorry, property of the combination. So NCR is equal to NCN minus R. So 12C8 is equal to 12C, 12 minus 8, that is 4. This can be, whichever is easier you can do. And everything, this also you can calculate, using the calculator you can calculate easily. So 0.2128 is the answer. Similarly, at least 4. At least 4 means greater than or equal to 4. So P of 1 minus x less than 4. Greater than or equal to 4 means 4, 5, 6, 7 up to 12 we have to find out. Instead of that, this will be easier. Strictly less than 4 means greater than, less than or equal to 3. So if you substitute, you will be getting 0.9847. Okay. And next is the variance of Poisson variate is 3. That is, variance is what? Just now I have told you, mean and variances are lambda. Mu and variances, that is mean and variances of Poisson distribution is lambda only. So lambda is equal to 3 is given. You have to just substitute in the formula. Okay. P of x equal to 0, e power minus 3 into 3 power 0 by 0 factorial. Similarly, x 1 less than or equal to x strictly less than 4. So you are not supposed to include 4. Less than or equal to 1. So P of x equal to 1, 2 and 3 you have to find out. Right. Next is, in a test on electric bulbs, it was found that the life of a particular make was normally distributed. So it is given normally distributed means already you are given that, you have to understand that it is normal distribution. Okay. And average life of, this is mean life, that is average means it is mean. So mu is equal to 2040 hours and the standard deviation of 40 hours. So sigma is equal to 40. Estimate the number of bulbs likely to burn for more than 2140 hours, 2140 hours. So x greater than or equal to 2140, you have to find out. This is what is required. Okay. This is what is asked. So when x is equal to 2140, if you want to make use of the table values, you have to convert it in terms of z. So z is equal to, and the relationship between x and z is z is equal to x minus mu by sigma. So if you substitute, you will be getting z is equal to 2.5. So x greater than or equal to 2140 is equivalent to probability of z greater than or equal to 2.5. This is the region, and you can find out, you know, the entire region is 0.5. So 0.5 minus this region, this is extra we have taken. So entire region is 0.5. Why we are taking like that? If you want to make use of the table, in the table we have only this part. Okay. So everything, all the region you have to express in terms of this region. Okay. Or using the calculator you can find out this as R directly. And if you, and I have explained in my classes using the calculator, that is normal distribution using the calculator, without using the calculator, everything is explained in the classes. You can go through that if you want to know how to use the calculator also. Okay. So this is the answer. And next at 5b, this is a repeated question. Even in expected question I have given this question. You can go through that. I have given just the answer. If you want explanation for that, please go through the classes. Okay. So these are the answers. And this is a small test and two means, two samples. Okay. So comparing the two samples. And 6a again it is a normal distribution. So given that mean is equal to 68 kg and the first one is greater than 72 kg, you have to find out, and between 65 and 71 kg you have to find out. So these are the given values. Mu and sigma are given, 68 and 3 respectively. When x is equal to 72, x greater than 72, you have to find out. At x is equal to 72, find out the z value, that is 1.33. Again it is similar to the previous question. R value, this is the R region according to the calculator, or 0. Entire region is 0.5 in the right hand side, minus this particular area. This particular area is extra. This you can find out using the table value. Okay, so this is the answer. And here one more point is there. It is not the probability. You are asked to find out the number of students also. Given the total number of students is 300, so you have to multiply the probability with the number of students. So 300, then you will be getting the number of students more than 72 kg. Similarly, the next probability here, 65 and 71, this is equivalent to -1 and between -1 and 1 in z. So this is the required region. This can be written as twice, because it is symmetric about the line z is equal to 0. You can express this region as, this is left hand side and right hand side of z is equal to 0 are equal. So you can express this as 2 into this area. This area is 0.3413 according to the table. Therefore 2 into 0.6826, and multiply with 300. That is the total number of students. You will be getting 205 students approximately. Because it is students, you cannot have decimals. Okay, you have to find out the approximate value. Round the value and write the values. Next is, the following table gives number of train accidents in a country that occurred during the various days of the week. Find whether the accidents are uniformly distributed over the week or not. At the level of significance 0.05. This is to be done by chi-square test. It is called chi-square test. And it is a small sample because 7 values are given. So it is a small sample. And you are asked to find out whether it is uniformly distributed or not. So these kind of problems have to be done by using chi-square test. Okay. So here these are the observed values. That is, on Sunday totally they have found out on Sunday there are 20 accidents. On Monday 18 accidents, and so on. So we have to find out whether it is uniformly distributed or not. But these are the observed values, right? So expected frequency you have to find out. How will you find out? Find the total of this. It is 126. And how many days? 7. So 126 divided by 7, that is our expected frequency. Okay, that's what we are going to write in that column. So null hypothesis means always null hypothesis, it is a statement of no difference. So the accidents are uniformly distributed over the week. Alternative hypothesis, they are not uniformly distributed over the week. So here how many values are there? That is our n. So n is equal to 7. So degrees of freedom is always, for chi-square distribution, always degrees of freedom will be n minus 1, which is 6. Okay. So these are the values. You have to find out the observed frequency. You have to write the given values. And expected frequency, total of this observed frequency, that is 126 divided by 7, which is 18. And this is the formula. Chi-squared is equal to, this is the formula. Chi-squared is equal to sigma oi minus ei the whole square divided by ei. That's what we have found out using the table. Okay, you can pause the video and you can also calculate and check the values. Okay. So now calculated chi-squared is 9.7778, and now table value of chi-squared is also there. You can find out the table. So n minus 1 degrees of freedom at 0.05 level of significance is the table value is 12.592. Therefore calculated value is less than the table value, hence accept H0. So the accidents are, accept H0 means what is our H0? We have assumed that the accidents are uniformly distributed over the week. This is our H0. Okay, so that we have to accept. That means they are uniformly distributed over the week. 7a, it is a large sample and mean. A single mean is given. So x bar 900 members has a mean of 3.4 centimeter and standard deviation 2.61 centimeter. Is this sample has been taken from a large population of mean 3.25 and standard deviation 2.61. So this is mu, this is our sigma, and 3.4 is our x bar because it is for the sample, and again 2.61 is for the sample. Okay, so these are the values. And null hypothesis is no difference from the mean of the population, that is mu is equal to 3.25. Means what? The sample has been taken from the population with mean mu is equal to 3.25, and there is no other clue for less than or greater than, therefore you can consider it as mu not equal to 3.25, that is the sample has not been taken from the population with mean mu is equal to 3.25, therefore it is two-tailed. And the value level of significance, it is not given. I am assuming it as 0.05. You can assume it as 0.01 also. Generally we will write it as 0.05 or 0.01. Okay, and the table value here is 1.96, and the test statistics, this is the formula x bar minus mu by sigma by root n, and the calculated value is 1.7241. so table value is 1.96. Calculated Z is less than table Z, therefore accept H naught at 5% level of significance. Here you have to mention because they have not given. Okay, always it is better to mention accept H naught or reject H naught at what percent of level of significance. Okay. Next is in a city 20% of random sample of 900 school boys and 18.5% of random sample of 1600 school boys. So from here we are understanding that it is a proportion, okay, and two different samples are given, therefore it is difference of proportion for large sample. Both the sample sizes are greater than 30, therefore greater than or equal to 30, therefore they are a large sample. Okay, so P1 is given, P2 is given. There are two methods, one is direct formula substitution and another one is pooling. I am using pooling method, so P is equal to, this is the formula you have to substitute. So small p and small q we have found out, and null hypothesis is always there is no difference between the proportion, that is P1 is equal to P2. Alternate hypothesis H1 is P1 not equal to P2. So there is a significant difference between the proportion, that is our alternative hypothesis. Therefore it is two-tailed. Again here you can write it is two-tailed. So level of significance it is given here. Is the difference between the proportion significant? At 0.05 level of significance they asked, therefore they have only given 0.05, that is 5% level of significance. Now test statistics according to the formula P1 minus modulus of P1 minus P2 divided by root of PQ into 1 by N1 plus 1 by N2. Okay, so calculated value is 0.9169, which is less than 1.96, that is the table value. Therefore accept H naught at 5% level of significance. That means there is no significant difference between the proportions. And eighth question, last question, this is from stochastic process, Markov process. It is the School of International Studies for Population founded by its survey that the mobility of the population of a state to village, town and city is in the following percentage. So here what is the transition matrix 0.3, 0.3, 0.1. Here because it is 30%, I am writing it as 0.30. You can write at 0.3. Similarly, this is 0.2, 0.5 and 0.4. Here 0.5, 0.2 and 0.5. This is the transition matrix. Okay, this is the mobility. This is the changes. So what will be the proportion of the population in village, town, city after 2 years? This is present population proportion they have given. And present population proportion is given by 0.4, 0.3 and 0.3. That is, you can write as a matrix form like this. 1 by 3. Okay, 0.4, 0.3, 0.3 is the present population. So this is the changes we are making. That means the transition matrix we are going to write it from the given table. And after find the proportion in the long run. That is general form also we have tried. So for the first year, how will you calculate present population into transition? Transition means what? The change. Okay, from this one state to another state. The transition matrix TPM, transition probability matrix we have written. No, the same thing is transition matrix here. So 0.4, 0.3, 0.3. This is the present population into transition matrix. So 0.24, 0.35, 0.41 is the required matrix. That is required population proportion after first year. But what is asked after second year, it is asked. So population after first year into transition matrix. So this is the stage now. This is the first state now. 0.35, 0.24, 0.35 and 0.41 is the state now. That is after first year into transition matrix. What is going to be changed? Now 0.218, 0.387, 0.395. This can be done manually or using your calculator also. In M1 classes, I have explained how to use the matrices using calculator. There you can find out how to enter the matrix and how to use the calculations of matrices and all you can do with the calculator also, which will be easier. There we will not make any mistake. Okay. And what is the next question? Find the proportion in the long run. Actually, we have a formula also. So method for calculation for period n is, it can be calculated by multiplying the initial proportion by n minus 1th power of the transition matrix. So this is proportion after n is. This is our initial proportion, right? Initial proportion matrix, 0.4, 0.3, 0.3. And this is the transition matrix. So transition matrix power n minus 1. So this is the general formula for finding the proportion after n years. Okay. Hope it will be useful. Thank you so much for listening.